Hello, I'm Roman Lovins. Thank you for joining us on the Talk Show Evening Edition. I have a special guest today, James Stakewitz. How you doing?
Hey Roman, what's going on?
Good. We have a couple of questions that viewers would like to ask you that I got personal messages, and people were asking these questions, so we'll answer them. So today on the Republican Talk Show, we've got this is one of the best talk shows we've ever made because we have a live guest speaker. And so our first question is, what are the changes from the Democratic group to the conservative group, and the Democratic group to the Republican group? What is different now from a long time ago?
What do you mean by a long time ago?
50 years before.
Well, it seems the parties have made big changes in the last 10 years. The Republicans have found strong footing on staying with conservatives, which means small government, pro-business, more holding to the values of Judeo-Christian beliefs, which is the majority of this nation, rather than liberal politics. I guess the biggest thing you'd have to say is the Republicans have a solid line that just says they're anti-abortion. Now they're saying, don't ask us to make laws over it, we can't fund it. They're not outlawing it, but they're just saying, don't expect us to accept it or make laws governing it, because we feel that it's against God, which would be how you bring the conservative in. A true conservative is somebody that's heavily influenced by Judeo-Christian beliefs. Well, the Bible. They want to. They believe that which maybe the liberals don't understand. A conservative truly believes this. If you follow the Bible and the teachings of God and Jesus Christ, that the nation will be blessed, because all blessings come from God. Now, this is something that, to the Republicans' best interest, they've grabbed onto and are holding on to, which is actually the fabric of America. That's what's made us great. Now, where I feel that the liberals have made a huge mistake is that they couldn't get elected. The Republican Party had gotten too strong, so the liberals decided, well, the Democrats, which adapted liberal views, did anything they could to get votes. So they went after every fringe group on the outsides of Judeo-Christian beliefs and said that we're the party. We're the party to answer to your views. The Republican Party is too conservative. They're out of time. They're not in step with humanity. So there's definitely huge differences between a conservative and a liberal. I really find it hard to believe how you could be a Christian and be a liberal. You just can't.
Yeah.
To be a Christian, you really will lean towards conservative views, and the Republicans very wisely have made this their platform, and realizing that this is the strongest fiber and people in America, that they have these Judeo-Christian views, where I think the Liberal Party is way off message. They're in trouble today. They're going to continue to be in trouble, thank God, because it is the blessings from God that are our only hope in this country.
A second question is, what is the history of liberalism? Where did it originate from?
I guess the beginning of time. I mean, people want to, govern, and then they want to please people. Liberal policy, anything goes, whatever to appease the people. Where a conservative is, you have to make hard decisions. Where John McCain made the biggest mistake was, he said, we'll stay in Iraq forever just to win the war, because he's talking like a military man. But if he was a better politician, he would have said, like Obama, I hate war and I want to end it as soon as possible.
That's the grip point of the election, where the people elected.
That's where it was. Right there, the war. So Obama says to all the college kids who think the world's a place of sugar plums and lollipops, that, oh, war's a bad thing, and oh, I hate war, I'm going to end war forever, and totally unrealistic. Where McCain said, well, we'll be there as long as it takes. which was not what the young people wanted to hear.
The problem is that with young voters who aren't experienced enough, since they're right as they get to the age of voting, they'll go out and they'll vote because they don't have that much experience with voting, and they'll vote for the
Or experience on issues,
on
or
issues
how
and
dangerous life is.
or understanding the real world. So, you're right. They may be naive and they believe anything that everybody says, and they'll vote because Obama says he'll end war. But he never told. Did he actually tell us how he would end the war?
Well, no. They said, well, the most horrible thing of it is, you have Harry Reid, the great liberal in the Democratic Party, saying the war is lost, we lost the war, still while our troops are patrolling the streets of Iraq. We have 19, 20, 21-year-old soldiers and Marines patrolling the streets of Iraq the day that he's saying the war is lost. I mean, that's treason. What has this country come to, where a leader in the government can come out and say a war is lost while we have American fighting men in harm's way? I mean, that's totally out of touch with America. How they can even remain to stay in power is beyond me. I don't know how they do it.
And our final question is, do you think that America should have more importing and exporting, or do you think we should stop exporting and regain our economy?
That's kind of funny. They say that the real smart people say you have to open up the world markets. So you have to have products coming in and out. But what we've done is we've taxed our businesses so badly and so heavily that they moved things to Mexico and moved things to China.
Yeah.
Because our taxes were too much and regulations too burdensome on them. So, and then the worst thing is our energy. We're spending $700 billion a year in OPEC oil, and all our money is going to build Dubai. I mean, and this is what, the greatest loss of wealth in America for the last 50 years. We have to make our own energy, whether it's nuclear, a combination of nuclear and oil. We have to start coal. We have to start drilling on our land, Anwar, Alaska. We have to put American dollars
into American-based energy resources.
Into American-based energy resources. We can't be giving, and these countries hate us. Their whole political systems and religious ideology are against us, yet we're giving them our wealth. So we really have to change our energy policy.
That's number one concern.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
I don't care what party it is, Democrat, Republican, it wouldn't even matter who's in office, because they wouldn't even matter at that point. If we brought American energy home and got our energy from this country, and American dollars went to American energy,
American products, our economy will go back. It will start going steadily up.
Political system wouldn't even matter.
But we're so in debt. I know, we're so in debt. In 13 trillion, and we're giving money to other countries to buy our energy products that basically those countries own us because we owe them so much money, and they own us because we're paying them so much.
The government's making us such debtors to the government. The government has made themselves so big that we're looking at the government for everything, when the government should just be a side note in our history. Our government is way too big. They make us so dependent on them that it's our destruction. We have to get, that's it, our number one thing, get our energy back home, and a government will be just a footnote. It won't matter who's in office, Republican or Democrat, because businesses, we're the ones running America, not the government. So we have to get the government out of the people's pockets, and we got to get the people back in charge. And the government should just be in charge of protecting us, defending us, running our military, social programs that are needed.
And utilities.
Well, utilities are private companies, you know.
Like government utilities.
What do you mean, like?
Waters.
Well, they should be protecting our resources. You're right, back 50 years ago, businesses were polluting America terribly. I mean, just because you're a conservative doesn't mean you want to destroy America. I mean, clean water is great. protecting wildlife and resources. We have to make sure businesses don't go back to polluting like they were without regulations. But we have to we really have to get the government out of business and the business back running America.
Alright, thank you for being on the show, Jim, today, and I'm Roman Blevins, and thank you for watching the Republican Talk Show. I hope you join us maybe next week or Wednesday. I think it's going to be Wednesday for our next episode. And again, thank you for watching, and thank you, Jim, for being on our show. Goodbye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Paul.
Bye.